What is going on, everyone? Thank you for stopping by to watch another episode here at All I See is W. Well, today I wanted to create this video to share with you why you should really consider investing in the stock market, right? I mean, there's an audience that would say, no, you shouldn't be investing because there's a lot of risk involved. You might lose money. Well, you know what? The risk is actually you not investing. Why? Let me share with you my thoughts on the risk that can happen if you don't consider investing. Well, we know that with respect to time, inflation can definitely kill you in the long run. Let's say if you have funds added in your checking account or savings account where you have like a 1% interest, over time, inflation can really take a toll on you. So for example, if we look at the value of like $20 compared to 10 years ago, $20 was able to buy a lot of things in the grocery store. However, today, what can $20 really buy? I mean, if you were to go to like the fast food store, I mean, let's say if you were to go to like McDonald's, you can pretty much just get like 2 meals for $20. However, in the past, you can purchase a wide array of different items for $20. Look at gasoline prices, right? I mean, back then, gas prices was like less than $1 per gallon. Now look at the gas prices, it's ranging around the $4 to $3. So that just tells you that over time inflation increases. What we know is tax also increases, right? Whether it's property tax, sales tax, retail tax, all of that takes place as well. So we know that expenses will continue to rise. That's why it's so important that you consider making investments in different companies and let the people that work for companies make money for you. All right, let's say if you're not really skilled at areas such as software computing, well, if you know that there's high value companies out there, you can look into different sectors and invest in those companies. For example, in quantum computing, that's an area of focus in the long run. Bitcoin, that's an area of focus in the long run since it's a new digital currency. In the biotech sector, we know that there's an increased demand for needed products to advance the healthcare of humanity. We know electric vehicles are now taking over and displacing all of the traditional gasoline vehicles. We know that renewable energy, solar energy, is now taking over as well, now that the advancement of technology is taking place. So that's why it's very critical that you look at these as opportunities, right? Because in most cases when companies, let's say if it's large scale companies, micro scale companies, or mid scale companies, companies tend to grow over time because of the concept of economies of scale. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight is, one moment here, that when you invest in a given company, there's a term called future value growth. And that will take place when companies establish economies of scale. Let's say if you're invested in a manufacturing company, right? Let's say if a company is getting bigger, whenever it purchases parts from suppliers, it purchases on a larger scale of volume. And for that reason, the actual cost per unit sold from the supplier would be much less. And that's pretty much what economies of scale means. And for that reason, the company is able to price down the final product that it produces to the actual customer at a lower price. And for that reason, the company is able to gain more in profits and have positive return on cash flow. So that's the benefit of investing in companies at a large scale. Now with micro cap companies, smaller value add companies, you can find companies that can definitely add value in a sense where it can deliver with a competitive advantage, where it has a product differentiation, where it's unique, it's created a barriers to entry, where competitors are not able to compete with these specific companies based on its product innovation or service that it provides, right? So that's why I wanted to just emphasize the importance that there's so much opportunity out there in the stock market right now, right? I mean, if you do, let's say if you invest in like JCPenney or Sears, that's very high risk because these companies are looking to become obsolete very soon. However, when you look at companies that have a solid product portfolio or products in the pipeline that will likely be getting out and commercialize, then these companies will likely grow in its share price value. You look at Amazon, right? I mean, let's say if you do have the cash value to invest, I mean, that's a very low risk company to invest in. While you know that all around the world right now, people are just clicking away purchasing items from Amazon. We know that Google, right, is the #1 search engine right now. We know Apple has developed an ecosystem to not only pair up and work with its own individual products, but it also can utilize different software platforms, right? Let's say if you have an Apple MacBook Pro, you can download Microsoft Word, you can leverage all the different Microsoft softwares. So that just tells you that these companies have established economies of scale. And with smaller cap companies, I feel like there's opportunity there as well, where you can identify companies that have very high product innovation or hidden gem companies, and that can definitely add value to your investment portfolio. Let's say if you make an investment in a small cap company, you leave it there long term and it grows by like 1,000, 3,000 fold from what you initially invested. Once you accumulated that cash flow, that profit, you can start investing in larger scale companies, and that will ensure the safety with your investment. So let's say if you're like at the age of 20, 30, 40, you can take higher risk and you can try to make those bold moves, plant the seeds, let the roots grow, and eventually you'll start getting fruits in return. And once you do have the fruits where you have a large cash flow, then you can start picking away, investing in large scale companies, or you can start developing and establishing your dividend payouts. And that's what's really called passive income. Passive income is great because you can either take that and reallocate that, or you can start buying the same company, because with passive income or companies that provide dividend stocks, it's amazing because time is of the essence, where over time you get paid out on a monthly or quarterly basis, where you get funds that the company provides to shareholders. So that's guaranteed money, while you don't really worry about the value of the share price. I mean, it'll be beneficial if the share price continues to go up, but that's the type of approach I would like to share with you. And I hope that this video gave you insight that the risk of not investing would be inflation. Let's say if you have cash value at the moment where you're just thinking the stock market might crash. Well, you know what? With your stock investments, you can be more strategic, apply risk control mitigation, such as adding stop loss. Let's say if you're at a certain share price with your company, you can add a stop loss where, let's say if it drops by 5%, 10%, it can sell away and you'd still be able to hold on to your cash value. So that's different ways for you to minimize risk, and it's very important for you to understand your entry and exit price strategy. But overall, if you want to catch, like what I usually say in this channel, if you want to catch a tuna instead of little small sardines or anchovies, it's best that you go long term, because that's how you gain on significant positive proceeds. But overall, I just wanted to share this to you because I know that there are a number of experienced investors, there are new investors, or there's folks who want to get into investing. And I hope that this video has given you new insight. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to leave it down below. I'd love to answer any questions that you have, any comments that you have, and any way for me to improve. And just wanted to say thank you so much for watching another episode here at All I See Is W. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you all.